Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Extra on a Saturday night. I'm Tom Wiley. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you've had a very Merry Christmas. Well, in keeping with our holiday tradition, we're going to take this week to look back on our favorite stories from 2025. Not just the top stories or the biggest headlines, but the stories that left a lasting impression on the people who shared them. We'll start in August, where MTN's Derek Joseph caught up with Libby golfer Riggs Johnston and his tight circle of friends and advisors who helped him become the first Montana native to tee it up in the Open Championship.
The environment was crazy with the fans to the players. I mean, everything was just such a uniquely awesome experience.
From Montana to Ireland, Libby native Riggs Johnston was the first person from the state to compete in the Open Championship. However, he was not the only Montanan there, as his team is made up of a tight circle of friends and family, including his caddy Johnny Selak, who grew up with Riggs in Libby.
I still think about it. You know, I'm still kind of coming down off. Just being there and making the cut was just cherry on the top.
Also among Johnston's team is his manager Tony Rosanova from Bozeman, who is also the father of Riggs' longtime partner. Rosanova got to view the Open from the stands rather than on the course, but during that weekend he shared that experience with other important people in Johnston's life.
I was able to do an interview with his grandmother walking down the 18th fairway as Riggs walked down the 18th fairway on his first day on Thursday. And the emotion that I felt just being associated with him, and the emotion that she felt and his mom felt as they were watching him walk down the fairway really locked it in for me.
And for Johnston, knowing his supporting team and family were all there for him at his biggest tournament yet is something he'll never forget.
You know, not a lot of guys make the weekend on their first major, but just knowing that they've been there from the start when I was 8 years old and started playing tournaments and traveling around in the motorhome all the way up until that, and the kind of the biggest stage you can get on. It's pretty cool to, you know, think about that journey.
Now as Johnston continues his journey into professional golf, his tight-knit team wants to work hard to ensure he has the best career possible.
You know, there's people out there on tour that don't have much family. They really are on their own. I think it's like very lucky for him to be able to have all these close surrounding people that take care of him and look out for him, because everybody really loves him, and so we want the best for him. And yeah, that's a very important role right there.
In Kalispell, Derek Joseph, MTN Sports.
Luke Shelton's favorite story takes us to Dillon in July, where hometown hero Troy Anderson gave back once again. The former Bobcat and current NFL linebacker teamed up with the Montana Department of Transportation to film another round of fun but meaningful traffic safety commercials.
Hey everyone, MTN's Luke Shelton down here in Dillon, where a pretty well-known former Beaver named Troy Anderson is back in his hometown and talking to his alma mater about something even more important than football.
Off the field, I stay calm and collected.
By now, you've probably seen commercials like this one.
But no matter where I play, I'm still a Montanan.
Or this one.
With Troy's Extreme Safe Driving Workout.
This campaign, featuring the Montana State great and current Atlanta Falcons linebacker, is part of MDOT's Engage Montana program, which uses education and entertainment to encourage drivers to make smarter, safer choices. And for the first time, MDOT took its message on the road, and what better place to start than where Anderson kick-started his football journey.
Yeah, it's awesome to be back in Dillon, back at BCHS. Lots of familiar faces, and like you said, brings back some good memories for sure.
They said Atlanta's going to change that, boy.
Anderson is the star in these TV spots, but he noted that someone else is cooking up those zany and memorable lines.
Now that's functional fitness.
They have a script person, whoever's in charge of that, and I read them, and man, they're pretty clever.
We never know what we're going to get in terms of commercials. I know we really pushed him outside his comfort zone and making him do the more comical. It's been really fun to see those visions like come to life and see him get to be a part of that.
Anderson has enjoyed his time being on the airwaves in his home state, but he'll soon be returning to the national spotlight as he gears up for his 4th season in the NFL.
Yeah, the last 3 years have flown by. Had a couple injury bugs, but trying to work through it and stay healthy, but it's been a lot of fun so far.
He's heading into the final year of his rookie contract, but even as he keeps looking to make waves in the NFC South, Big Sky Country is never too far from his mind.
Oh yeah, Dillon will always be home. Montana will be home. I love coming back here, spending time here, and yeah, it's great.
Man, I love coming home.
In Dillon, Luke Shelton, MTN Sports.
In my favorite story of the year, a freshman at Hayes Lodgepole got to live his dream on the football field. Colin Monto's touchdown didn't change the score, but it changed hearts across the community, reminding us all why sports matter. 14-year-old freshman Colin Monto might be the most popular kid at Hayes Lodgepole High School. Due to a premature birth, Colin is nonverbal and wheelchair-bound. He communicates through a tablet and will use it to tell you all about his favorite sport.
Sports, NFL, football, touchdown.
He's always talking about football, always.
Colin is football crazy. His favorite team?
Washington Commanders.
And the Thunderbirds, of course. He supports them in any way he can.
I want so much to be involved in, with the students, and just to be like part of any activity.
That led his special education teacher, Wanda DeBray, to hatch a plan.
My wheels start turning.
She approached Colin's uncle and junior high coach, Adam Doney.
So I asked Adam, is there anything that we can do, like for him at the football game? Because he really wants to go and be with the players.
I thought about it for a day, and I was thinking maybe a manager or something, and I was like, no, we're going to get him in the game.
They got Colin his very own jersey, had him walk out with the team, and with the approval of the referees and the Big Sandy coaches, even let him run a play.
First of all, we wanted to have a short run, so his first run was for like 3 yards.
But towards the end of the game, the Big Sandy team had a message for the Thunderbirds.
The ref came over and he was like, Big Sandy wants to have him go in for a touchdown. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I turned to Colin and I was like, guess what? You're going to do a touchdown. And his arms start flailing and he was like so excited.
Colin is always smiling, but he's never smiled as big as in this moment.
The biggest smile in the world. Watch this little guy be happy.
His cousin Hayden Grant was selected to do the honors.
And I was happy for it. And I was happy for Colin to score and to see him all happy and the community to see him happy. It just made me feel good for him.
I said I never expected to have something like this. Was so heartwarming.
You could tell his little dream was coming true. The crowd was roaring, horns were honking, and when he was going for that touchdown, it was so amazing.
And how did Colin feel?
A little excited.
The Thunderbirds haven't won a game this season, but they also haven't quit. And Colin's touchdown was a payoff for this team and this community.
Colin showed him that it's okay to keep pushing on and believe in yourself going forward. Everything will get better as time goes.
Will Charlton's favorite story of the year is a heartfelt moment for the Big Sky Pro Rodeo Roundup. Jack and Roseanne Johnson were surprised with the Rocky Heckman Perseverance Award, a tribute to grit, hope, and character, presented by Rocky's widow and family on the final night in August.
For the last 9 years, on the final night of the annual Big Sky PRCA Rodeo, the Rockies Road Continues Perseverance, Hope, and Character Award is presented to someone in the community who really stands out for what they do and have overcome. This year, the two winners are very well-known individuals in Great Falls.
Jack and Roseanne Johnson.
Jack and Roseanne Johnson are the 2025 recipients of the prestigious Rockies Road Continues Perseverance, Hope, and Character Award.
Mark, our son, said, Mom, do you need a Kleenex? And I said, well, will I? He said, yeah, I think you will. Well, I did.
The Johnsons are the 9th individuals to receive the belt buckle, and it's in honor of the late Rocky Heckman, who passed away in 2017. Rocky's wife, Laurel, who was in charge of presenting the award, said it was special to honor the Johnsons.
To see the look on their faces when they receive the award is all that I need to see, is just to honor somebody and to recognize them for what they've been through and how much they've given back. It means the world to me.
Jack and Roseanne have done a lot in the community and have faced their own battles in life, including losing their daughter, and Roseanne going through hip and heart surgeries.
People would say, I've been praying for you. I said, thank you, I'm humbled. I didn't even know who they were.
Of course, Jack is a staple of the CMR football program, as well as the winningest high school coach in Montana history, leading the Rustlers to 13 AA state championships.
It's been me. This community's important to us. Yeah. They've accepted us, helped us. Yeah.
We've always had good people here in Great Falls.
It was also an especially joyous night for Heckman, since she said her whole family was alongside to present the award.
My daughter and some of my grandkids have never been a part of it, so it was really great for them to be there and for them to see what it's all about.
Heckman said she hopes Rocky's legacy continues to carry on into the future with an inspiring message.
There's always hope. There's always, you have faith and there's always hope.
But since it's only one belt buckle,
I asked him if I could wear the buckle. He said maybe.
Sounds like that's a conversation for another time, but a big congratulations to Jack and Roseanne for this honor. In Great Falls, Will Charlton, MTN Sports.
Slim Kimmel's pick this year was a classic underdog moment. Frenchtown football stunned heavily favored Billings Central in the Class A state title game. A freshman backup quarterback stepped in and lit up the scoreboard, giving the Broncs a magical movie script finish.
It was a scene fit for a movie script. The underdog trailing by double digits, the starting quarterback out with an injury, but a team and a community that never stopped believing.
All Coach Mason says is, nobody has to believe in you except for you and everybody in this community. Nobody else but this community. And I mean, we got it done.
We got nothing to lose. Cut it loose, let it free, see what happens. Find ourselves in a ball game and see if we can take in the 4 quarters, right? And that's what we did. And I just get so proud of these kids.
Frenchtown trailed heavily favored Billings Central 14-3 in the second quarter of the Class A state championship game. But in stepped freshman quarterback Cody Forthover, who guided the Broncs to 4 touchdown drives to pull off the 31-21 upset.
I was just ready, and Dawson, I mean, he was the starter, and he went down, and then I just had to step up. I was really nervous at the start, but I got better during the game.
We talked about it's going to take every single one of us. Didn't know who was going to need to step up, what was going to happen. Holy cow, that kid stepped up in a big way. A freshman coming in, balling out, his brother getting his first varsity start ever in the backfield. I mean, just magical, unbelievable.
And it wasn't just Forthover. Every Bronc made big plays.
They punch, we got to punch back, right? Heavyweight bout. Kids just held belief, did it together, rode for the brand, baby.
We know what to do when it comes down to it. We rely on each other. We got each other's backs. We just rise to the occasion every time. It's that brotherhood.
A brotherhood of Broncs. That movie would sell. Slim Kimmel, MTN Sports.
Johnny Walker's top pick of the year started with an idea that sounded absurd. Basketball with donkeys in East Helena, but what began as a quirky concept turned into one of the most fun and memorable stories that he's covered, all while raising money for the community.
Well, for those of you watching at home right now, you might be wondering, Johnny, why the heck is there a video in the monitor of you riding a donkey right now? And to answer that question, I've got just 2 words: donkey basketball. That's right, it's basketball, played on some donkeys. It's harder than it looks. But don't just assume you know how the game is played, because you know what they say about assuming things. It makes a donkey out of you and me.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go. I forgot what your name is already. Oh, there we go.
The reins, well, nice to hold. Don't do much in the way of steering the donkeys because, well, they're as stubborn as a mule.
You're going the wrong way. No, wrong way.
But whether playing or just watching, it'll have you hee-hawing all night.
Up close and personal with the athletes, yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's like the Olympics being out here.
It was like riding a cloud. It was awesome. We had a good time. The donkeys did awesome, but they have a little bit of mind of their own, so they kind of did what they wanted to do, but it was they were a blast to get on, and it was a really fun energy.
But it wasn't all just for donkey kicks and giggles. So let's really pin the tail on what donkey basketball was all about. Proceeds from the event will be donated equally to Helena Food Share and East Helena High School's own food share program.
Oh, well, the students kind of picked that. I just sat with them and says, okay, who are we going to give this money to? We're going to make a little bit of money. We're not going to make millions or anything, but we'll make some money. So who do we give it to? And so their thought was, yeah, food share sounds really good. And also to our high school food share program, you know, giving food to our students that kind of need it.
I mean, it's super important in your community. I mean, we're looking out for each other. Food-wise, you know, it's hard to learn with you on an empty stomach. So anything we do to help these kids and help the school district, we're always behind. So.
And let the record show, I did score 1 basket during my time on the donkey. Our camera didn't quite capture it, but you can ask anyone who was there. It happened, and it was awesome. Reporting in studio, Johnny Walker, MTN Sports.
MTN's Scott Breen picked this story because in the rugged West, there's no room for fear, only survival. Even the youngest mutton busters, helmet, grit, and big smiles brought a sold-out crowd to their feet in one of the most fun, unforgettable moments of the year.
There's no room for fear in the rugged West, only survival. And in front of sold-out rodeo arenas, even the youngest are hungry for their shot. They make choices to challenge these furry, four-legged critters called muttons. The goal? In step with bull riding. Hold on as long as possible, so not to let down yourself, your family, your fans. On freshly tilled rodeo dirt, you nervously await your turn dressed in jeans, a long-sleeved shirt, and a helmet, just like the sport's Top Guns. For a few brief seconds, you are the show. Some, staring into the rear view mirror, will just flat out wear down that mutton. Others hit Mach 5 faster than the speed of sound, but still hear the sound of success. For some, it's over as fast as it starts. Tears start to well. But family is there to pick up the pieces. Others are flattened like a pancake, but pop right back up for that photo op. You might hear it's a fun, family-friendly atmosphere just before it seems like a one-way ticket to disaster. The crowd will collectively gasp. Then you will emerge heroically. Just when these muttons think they've won, you relentlessly hold on and they run scared. They're a little humiliated, and you are celebrated. You might lose a boot, but that's okay. And just when you think you've seen it all, this happens. Everybody's okay, you're dusted off and already thinking about the next night. The night dreams come true, and you cannot, will not, let go of this rugged Western way of life. Inside the arena, Scott Breen, MTN Sports.
Alec Boffinger's top pick of the year is a powerful reminder of resilience. Billings Skyview coach James Bullock battled multiple sclerosis throughout the basketball season, and his team rallied together through that hardship, a story of strength, unity, and inspiration, both on and off the court.
Sometimes life doesn't give you the best cards.
You know, it's just a hand I was dealt, and now I just got to find my new norm and ways to navigate it.
Right around Christmas time, Billings Skyview head boys basketball coach James Bullock was diagnosed with the central nervous system disease, multiple sclerosis.
I got taken into the hospital. I couldn't see out my left eye. And so my wife made me go. It progressively got worse throughout the week. And she just woke up on Sunday. We were about to go to church, and she just says, "Hey, can you read this for me? Cover your right eye." And I'm like, "I can't see." So we went in.
James wasn't about to let it upend his life, though, maintaining his teaching position in the school and his job on the sidelines. It all culminated at the Class AA state tournament in Bozeman, where the Falcons hoisted the championship trophy.
I just love this group, love these guys. Blessed to have them and the support that they've provided myself and my family.
For them, that was super special. And every boy on that team played a huge role in getting them there. And so for that, we are so grateful, because truth be told, that moment wouldn't have happened without these boys carrying him to that finish line. So.
Just before the state tournaments, players and team moms united to produce the warm-up tops that Skyview sported throughout the weekend.
It just showed us, like something can change in the snap of a finger, but it gave us something to play for. It really gave us something to, be considerate about and be like, it gives you motivation. because playing for him, playing for this team is something that like we made history here. So.
As time moves forward and James gets used to his new normal, he's determined to stay as active as ever. That includes spending time with his 3 kids and a dedication to his golf game this summer.
We love to golf. We like to get out. I'm terrible at it, but it was kind of funny because we joked about this year being the year where we kind of really put in some time to try and get better. So I'm still going to try and do everything we can. We got golf tournaments lined up, and you know, we're planning a basketball golf fundraiser, you know, too, you know, hopefully in August, I think, something like that. And so, you know, and the kids, I'm not going to let this affect what I do with my daughter. So, you know, we've got all the toys at home, the blow-ups that they can use, and parks, and, you know, bikes and that kind of thing. So as long as I can do it, I'll do it. But
one thing is for certain, Bullock is going to throw punches right at MS. In Billings, Alec Boffinger, MTN Sports.
Kyle Hansen's pick honors a true trailblazer, Malia Kipp, the first Montana tribal member to earn a Division I women's basketball scholarship, left a lasting legacy both at Grizz basketball and across tribal communities. Her life and impact brought people together and inspired future generations.
Basketball on Montana's Native American reservations is a passion that cannot be understated because of what it means to those who live there. In the early 90s, the town of Browning on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation was home to one Barbara Malia Kipp, a tall, lanky athlete who would break barriers in the Treasure State.
Malia talked how resilient the Native people are, the Browning people, with lots of obstacles to overcome, and I think they all represent Browning well. You know, it's just one of those things that, for me, they made my life better because I've got to know them.
On December 31st, just before the new year began, Malia tragically passed away. But much like her impact in life, her death created a ripple effect across all corners of Montana and the U.S. from those who were inspired by her story. Kipp became the first Montana tribal member to play NCAA Division I women's basketball on a full-ride scholarship when she was signed by Robin Selvig to play for the Montana Lady Grizz in Missoula in 1992. When she arrived at the University of Montana, she hit the court running. Her teammates, fans, and coaches knew immediately they were witnessing history.
Standing in here now, I can remember the buses full of kids coming from Browning to watch Malia play, and she had a lot of courage.
Cimarron Schilt grew up in East Glacier and also played high school ball in Browning, and in the late 90s followed in Malia's footsteps to Missoula.
She was pretty legendary around here. I would hear about her. There was a poster that I saw everywhere in her Browning Letterman, and I think on that poster they called her 1 in a million, and I remember that really sticking with me. She came before me. She, I think, made it more possible for me to do what I did.
Although Cimarron never saw Malia play as a Lady Grizz, the two met where you might expect, the basketball court.
We played in a basketball tournament in Ronan, so we had played a couple tournaments together. The only thing I remember about that whole tournament is her throwing me the most perfect pass at the last second and me hitting the winning shot.
The two became even more connected in recent years, as Kipp was featured in a PBS documentary called Native Ball: Legacy of a Trailblazer. The award-winning documentary introduced new fans to Malia's story, as the program also featured Cimarron and fellow Browning athletes and former Lady Grizz Tamara Gardapi and Shanae Gillum. The women explained the challenge of transitioning to life from a reservation to one in a larger city, but they credit Malia for paving the way for female Native athletes.
It hits you on a really deep level that's almost like on a subconscious or unconscious level. When you see somebody from your area doing it, it makes it possible for you. Somebody who looks like you, somebody who has the same background, somebody who has similar families, economic, everything. It opens the door for you in a way that I don't think other things do.
Even for Kipp's non-native teammates, it was a learning experience.
You know, we're all from Montana, but we're not all from the same place. A small town is also different than Missoula, you know, the city. But then a tribal community on top of that is another level of difference. She talked about stereotypes in the film. She talked about the burdens carrying, living in two worlds, all these things I just wasn't aware of.
Megan Harrington co-produced the film about her teammate, knowing Native Ball would shine a light on Malia's journey and the challenges she overcame.
Resilience, perseverance, kindness, someone who believed in what she could do and did it. but she knew that she was able to do it. So the power of people and community really rings through in her story, and it was always about other people, but she is a hero.
Kip quickly became part of the Lady Grizz dynasty and fabric under Coach Selvig. Another teammate, Krista Redpath, was a freshman during Malia's senior year. Malia offered to let Krista live with her, also acting as a mentor to the younger player.
You know, I spent a lot of time with her. I was blocked a lot in practice from her. Had some real tearful moments as a freshman, just adjusting to Division I basketball on both ends of the floor, and Malia was always offering a kind statement of encouragement or something to keep me going, and it was just a special relationship that we developed.
The memories for all on and off the court flooded in as the Lady Grizz reunited to celebrate Malia's life earlier this month back in Browning.
There were always kids following around and asking her for autographs, and she was definitely the most famous Lady Grizz in terms of having people ask for her autographs. She was pioneering at a time when she was all alone, and she was creating that path. And so I hope that her legacy continues to inspire young children on the reservation or not on the reservation.
Malia Kip's towering force and impact will live forever in Montana. She leaves a lasting legacy of humility, kindness, friendship as someone with a warrior spirit who will be deeply missed by those who knew her best.
She inspired me then. She still inspires me. You know, she was an amazing human being. She was really special. She was very, very kind and loving, and the world needs more people like her. She was a very special spirit, and she'll be very missed.
Reporting in Browning, East Glacier, and Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
Well, that's our time for this edition of Sports Extra and our final show of 2025. Thanks for following along all year long, and we hope you have a wonderful new year and encourage you to continue the conversation on air and online at montanasports.com as MTN Sports heads to Nashville, Tennessee with the Montana State Bobcats for the FCS National Title Game. Have a good night.